we got ourselves Game 1 of the Grand Finals, spawning in the lower left-hand corner. In the red, representing generic green wings, it is Trap. And his opponent, in the upper right-hand corner, in the blue, representing Chivo, it is Ragnarok. Looks like Trap doing the Zest early probe, something we've seen Zest do a lot lately. And Trap liking that, forcing Ragnarok to take the third base as the natural. That's not ideal. Trap, meantime, oh my god, Trap, you know what? He's been paying attention. He's been paying attention. And he saw Gemini's new guide on how to wall off. This pylon perfectly placed to wall off both sections. Now Zen has been changed a little bit since the last map pool. You guys may remember Zen. Most of it's pretty much the same. But there have been some big changes to this natural base section. Namely, this ramp moved over so that for Protoss they can wall off the entire thing with one pylon. So their second pylon can go into the main base, which means it's easier to hide tech, and it's also just less exposed. So that if for some reason you are losing your natural, you're not just completely without pylons. Obviously losing your natural would be bad, but still. It's nice to have those pylons separated and spread out. So this is a really nice pylon placement, nice wall for Trap. And I point that out because I made the comparison to Zest with the probe coming out. But one thing Zest has consistently been doing for kind of a while, and like it hurts me to watch, is his walls are terrible. And like, no insult to the dude, literally made it to the grand finals of IM Katowice by defeating Cyril. Clearly, he knows what the hell he's doing. But his walls have always been what I would say subpar. Oh, Lings are in, but the Adeptus here. The Lings should be able to get a scout on this Twilight Council, though. Probes could come off the line to stop it. They're going to. So no scout on the Twilight, and Glaives has started already. Ah, this Overlord. By the time this Overlord gets there, Glaives is going to be halfway done. Oh, damn. That's not good. That is not good for Ragnarok. He needs defense, and he needs it now. He's got Spore Crawlers on the way because he doesn't know what's up there. Oof. All right, he gets the scout off. He sees the chrono on it. He knows what it has to be. Is another gateway up. That's all the tech there is. There's more Adepts coming out. The Stalkers here, which will actually kill this Overlord. There's a proxy gateway coming up, and now there's a Dark Shrine. So basically, this is a build we've seen a number of times. I think we actually saw Zest do this exact same build. I mean, it's just straight up Adept pressure. You follow it up with Dark Templar because you force a very immediate response. There are Spore Crawlers coming out. Oh no, it's Spine Crawlers. Did he cancel the Spores? He canceled all the Spores, which means 0 detection. It's an Evo Chamber to block that shade location. I think that's quite smart. So Roach Warren up, so Roaches will be able to start coming out now, but it's just all Lings right now. The Spines are going to help quite a bit here. Still more Lings on the way. Well, there's enough Lings to actually get a full surround on these Adepts. Glaives is quite good. And he's going to trade nicely with the Lings, but it loses a ton of Adepts. In the meantime, he cancels the Shade. Yeah, nice trade with the Lings. If we take a look at resources lost, it's pretty even, all things considered. Forcing more and more Lings out. Lings are very larva intensive, which means there's not going to be a lot of larva left for droning, things like that, especially if the Queens come down. Looks like he is still hitting those injects, but it also means so many Adepts went down that the snowball effect really isn't there. And he's going to be counting a lot on the Dark Templar follow-up now. We do have a lair. Do we have any Overseers? There's 2 morphing right now. Ah, he should be able to get that morphed in time. Yeah, to save that hatchery. Where's the second one morphing? I think it's on the other side of the map. Yes, it is. Which means these DTs might be able to find some damage. 5 drones going down so far. This one's going to get a few more. 10 kills. Oh, 11 drone kills from all of that. All right, that's not too bad. Trap is still up on workers now, especially after that. But there's 7 more drones on the way. Roach speed is on the way. And Ragnarok could just go for a big swell of roaches and move across the map. Ooh, couple Archons and a bunch of Adepts kill a ton of Lings. Trap's gonna grab a 3rd base as he's still doing damage. Still putting pressure on the other side of the map. +1 missile attacks now on the way for Ragnarok. Back at home, Trap has more gateways coming up. There's a Robo out. He's a little supply blocked at the moment. Chrono boosting a supply block to Mortal. There it goes. Looks like the Roaches will pull away the Warp Prism, push away the Warp Prism rather. A couple of Adepts come in, they'll get taken out, but they will grab 4 drones before doing so. Oh, and now the Warp Prism. Roaches are not up here in the main base, and the Queen is going to go down. 6 drones have gone down. Ooh, oh man, and with that one hit, he goes up to 12 kills. Ragnarok in a really tough spot now. This harass with the 2 Archons and the Warp Prism has been absolutely magnificent. Kills another Queen. And it's not like there's extra Queens. He didn't have like 6 Queens with this. That's no injects. He's missing a ton of injects right now. Roaches and Lings are going to move across the map. That's about the best thing that Ragnarok can do right now. He's up in army supply. It's basically his only advantage. He is about to have +1 missile attacks as well. It's on the way. Warp Prism and Archons getting recalled back home, and Trap needs to muster everything for defense. He's got 2 shield batteries here. Ravager's being morphed. There's detection as well, which means DTs are not going to save him. Some nice force fields to start things off, forcing some piles on those force fields. The shield batteries are completely out of energy. The Roaches and Ravagers trying to push in on top of everything, but the force fields so far have been really nice separating this army, giving Trap a chance to warp in more units. Isn't going to be enough units though. The splits against the Biles are okay, but he loses a few sentries nonetheless. More Lings and Roaches on the way, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's still 2 Immortals alive, killing absolutely everything. More charge lots warp in, and I think it's close, but I think Trap's going to hold, and I don't think Ragnarok has anything to fall back on. He's got more Lings and Roaches on the way. But I think the Warpins and the Immortals here are going to be more than enough to hold on, and that's going to be GG. Trap's going to take game number 1 with some beautiful, beautiful harassment. His Adepts really didn't get much done, but the DT follow-up and then a couple of Adepts and the 2 Archons did more than enough to make up for the fact that those Glaives maybe weren't the most useful. And Ragnarok's all in once he was down on workers wasn't enough, and it was a nice hold. Oh man, we already got the lobby link for game number 2. Damn. Zest did it with a Robo and a Prism. Trap likes to proxy one of the gates. I see. Yeah, I noticed the Robo was quite late there for Trap, but it was quick enough to get out the Immortals he needed to hold, and that's what really matters. Gemini in chat, answering all of chat's questions. Gemini, if you keep being so helpful in chat, I'm gonna have to mod you, and you know how I feel about that, so. I don't need to inflate that ego any more than it already is. Let's hop into game number 2, where this man in the lower left-hand corner is already inflating Gemini's ego. He's at full mast. Let's see if he can finish it out for him. It is Trap. And his opponent in the upper right, in the blue. Down 0-1 in the series. It is Chivo's Ragnarok. If I give one player the whoosh, I have to give it to both players. You know what I'm saying? I can't be biased with my whooshing. Yeah, you know, it's officially called the ESL Open Cup number 10 for Asia. But I just want to put Korea because everybody thinks of this as the Korean one. But it is officially called like the Asia Cup. Although, you know what's really funny? In the bracket link, it says 1-on-1 series Korea / Cup 10. So, I don't know, man. But it's officially titled Cup number 10 Asia. But yeah, there's 3 cups every week. The Korea one is first, and then the EU one, and then the NA one. No pro block here on the natural base. Maybe because the map is quite a bit longer rush distance than Zen. But Ragnarok's going to take that very early Korean style third base. Which, according to the EU Zergs, is bad. But Ragnarok, he wants to take it. Maybe he just doesn't want to deal with the pro blocking it or an adept blocking it or something really annoying like that. Gemini asking for not mod in the chat. Well, there you go. Got him. Got him. Alright, don't ban anybody. Damn it, that's gonna be 2 minutes late. Alright. Trap is going for a Robo and a Twilight Council. See what the plan is here for him. Just off a single gateway in the wall. Now this wall, I don't know if I like this wall as much. The Cybercore is very exposed here if Ragnarok was to go for a big swell of Zerglings. Could be a bit of an issue. Fortunately, Ragnarok is not going for that. But this is something I first noticed on this map is this is like the intuitive way to wall. But it means your Cybercore is extremely exposed to Zerglings surface area wise. And I mean, even to roaches later. I know Gemini's guide covers a better way to wall that keeps your Cybercore less exposed. It is a Dark Shrine. Okay. This is kind of what I expected based on the timings of these. So it looks like Trap wants to go for the DT drop, followed up by the double Archon drop. The Lings are chasing the probe away. There is a lair on the way up, a Roach Warren on the way up. So I think Ragnarok will be able to have a good defense against this, assuming he makes some detection. Not a ton of queens out, though. He does have 4 queens for 3 bases, so, you know, queen's pretty good. Pretty good unit. Here's the warp in. 3 Dark Templar. But, yeah, there's an Overseer here. So the ones going into the main and natural are going to be thwarted. A ton of roaches on the way. No detection over here, but there's not really anything to kill in the meantime, so DT is going to get picked up, 1 more will get warped in, and the Archon phase will move on, and that means Trap's going to go grab a third base. But it looks like Ragnarok's all set up for this. He's got roaches around, he's got overseers around. Ooh, and he's got a spire coming up behind this. I like that spire. That's a nice spire. And he's going to try to keep this War Prism away so there's no scouting. Adept's going to try to shade in and get some damage done, though. They might be able to get a few kills here. There are a bunch of roaches, though. 3 drones go down. 4. Nope, doesn't quite get that 4th one. But still will not see this spire. Observer going to hang out over here. Might be able to see a Muta come out, but that's going to be so late. But there's Blink on the way. Has Trap sniffed this out? If he starts just making a bunch of Stalkers right now, Trap is going to be the biggest brain. But, yeah, no Stalkers just yet. Oh, a couple of Adepts get a couple more kills, but it looks like they will take the death for it. Is there any indication that it's Mutas? I really don't think he's seen that it's Mutas. I feel like it's just he's feeling that the Mutas are here because he hasn't seen any extra units out of Ragnarok. There hasn't been anything else. Did he see the Spire? Still no scout on the Spire, no scout on the Mutas. But he has been making some Stalkers back at home. I think he only has a couple right now. No shield batteries or cannons in the main base. Where is the War Prism? That's going to be key. The War Prism with the Archons in it is going to be key. All right, Hallucinated Phoenix now sees the Spire. There it is. And the Mutas are going to hit in the main base. The Archons are here with the Prism. A couple Stalkers could warp in. They're going to warp in down here. There is a cannon in this base, actually, and there's a shield battery in this one. Trap is looking pretty set up for this. He's going to lose a few workers. But if he can mitigate this damage, that would be fantastic. There's no more Mutas coming out. There's no +1 on the way or anything. This is just the harassment flock of units. And Trap's got a bunch of gateways coming up. He is looking to get some more units out. And behind this, it's basically Ling Roach Ravager for Ragnarok. Pretty common composition for Ragnarok. Archon's looking for a hit. They get one hit. Will not quite kill this Muta, which was at like 5 hit points. A few more probes go down, but the worker count's actually dead even. Oh, this DT is going to get in. There's no detection in the main base. Oh, I lied. There is detection in the main base. There's a Spore Crawler here. Mutas come in. They grab a Sentry. They get blinked upon. Doesn't really do too much. Oh, a couple of Queens going to push this away, but 3 more drones going down. Ragnarok stopped making workers. He has been full in on army. He's at 185 supply. Trap is 50 supply down right now. Only at 69 army supply. Yeah, nice. Not nice is that Trap was moving out. He had no vision of this attack. The wall is open, and the Zerglings flood in. This is the swarm right here. Ragnarok in full swarm mode. I think he's just going to take this game. Even if Trap somehow holds this army off, which he may be able to. Blink is a pretty good unit. Archons are pretty good units. But he's taking so much damage. Well, maybe not. Maybe not so much damage. Trap? He's still down a lot of supply. There's still a lot of Roach Ravager here. I don't want to give you guys too much hope. This is looking pretty rough for Trap. If he can kill some of these Ravagers, there might be a chance. There's more Roaches moving across the map, though, and now the Mutas, which have taken out the main mineral line, are going into the natural mineral line. Yeah, I think there's just not enough here. Trap's micro has been very good, but he was down just too far. The War Prism's going to go down, which means the Immortals are going to go down. And that was Trap's last hope. There's the GG, and Ragnarok takes game 2 and ties the series up 1-1. Ties it up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with GSL. Nobody really knows yet. I mean, I'm sure some people know, but there was that like kind of leak thing on Reddit about how it might be on the 18th, but we'll see. As far as Super Tournament goes. And the rest of GSL, I assume the real issue is Afrika is they're a television studio, right? They don't just put on GSL. It's not like if IEM has an issue with Katowice, or, you know, if it was like the next event, like DreamHack's next event, they had something and they wanted to announce something about it. That's their main focus. GSL is not necessarily Afrika's main focus. They're a TV studio. They've probably got a million balls to juggle and a million different people to work with. So it might just be taking a while to figure out exactly what they're going to do specifically about GSL and make announcements about that and work on advertising and stuff like that. But until you hear Artosis get worried, I wouldn't be worried. So far, I haven't seen him be worried. Now let's get into our game number 3. Our series is all tied up, baby. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, in the red, playing for Jin Air Green Wings, it is Trap. And his opponent, in the lower right, for Chivo, it is Ragnarok. I was just waiting for the bomb and the music. I like when we start off with this music. It's good for introducing the players. Hashtag running lings into the Nat. Honestly, I think even without running lings into the Nat, that game was not going to go well for Trap. Damn, Ragnarok going for the hatch block. Trap, the pile must see this, right? Yeah, okay. Trap, you gotta pull probes off, dudes. What? You gotta pull probes. Alright, well, 2 gateways on the way because there is a pool behind this. So Ragnarok is going pretty hardcore in on this. Zealot being chronoed out. I may be wrong here, but I really feel like you need to pull probes off to kill this. It's already over halfway done. The Zealot's not even out yet. This hatchery is getting up, dude. Trap is letting this hatchery get up. And that worries me. It worries me. Because this isn't just a, I'm gonna block your Nexus hatch. I think he wants to build stuff with it. Trap is blocking the natural, so Ragnarok forced to take a 3rd base if he wants to expand. There it is. There's the hatchery. Okay, he's not going to build units from it. He's just going to build an Overlord. I'm a little surprised. I'd love to see like a couple of Zerglings come out of here. Just try to run around in the main base a little bit. But there's going to be Broodlings out of this. Okay, this is why you need to pull probes and kill this early, because now there's Broodlings, and where do those Broodlings go? Can you kill a pylon with Broodlings? Maybe a probe. Well, you know what? Well handled from Trap. Doesn't even lose the probe. Never mind. Now he can make stuff with these eggs. Or with the larva, at least one of them. To delay as much as possible. I don't think these will ever kill an egg. Might get a Zergling before it runs away. Nope, not even that. Too bad, so sad. A couple of Adepts on the other side of the map though, so Trap can try to put on some counter pressure, but there's a lot of Lings here. So it doesn't look like too much is going to get done. Behind this, Trap has a Stargate coming up, but still no Nexus. It just feels so delayed after that. Ragnarok though, just now droning up and just now starting to get drones mining from his 2nd base, which is at his 3rd location. More Adepts coming across. Actually, 2 Zealots and 4 Adepts. This could do some real damage. Lings are not going to be really that great versus this. And Ragnarok realizes that. He's got more Lings on the way, though. The Adepts are going to shade in. He's going to let the shade finish. I don't know if Trap realizes just how many Lings are here. Spore Crawler on the way up. That's going to get taken out. The Adept should be able to shade out of this after trading with the Lings. No, he cancels the shade. He wants to fight here. Queen laying out some solid damage from the top. This Zealot has gotten 6 kills over here. But all of those units will eventually go down. The Oracle comes out. The trade, slightly better for Trap. There's a Spore Crawler here, but Trap is going to grab 3 more drones anyways. Ling's heading across the map. There's a couple of Adepts to hold the wall. This is a weird pylon, but I guess it's a nice pylon. It makes this an alley instead of just a single pixel. It looks like Trap is nice and secure back at home to get his Robo. He's got 2 Oracles now, and we all know Trap's Oracle control is quite good. See, now we've gotten to the really quiet part of the music where it's just borderline pure silence. And that's not very helpful. You know, these guys, they got to work on the music. 1, 2, 3, 4 quick kills. One of the Oracles is very low, but Trap is going to get out of there with these Oracles. Oh, he's going to grab a 5th drone on the way. Forces a Spore and a Cancel. Now he's going to come in with Oracle number 3 to the 2nd base. Well, the 3rd base, which is at the natural. Right. A Phoenix and a Stalker coming out to kill this Overlord. Warp Prism being chronoed out right now, which means Trap wants to keep on some of the pressure. Looks like a couple of Overlords are going to go down here. That's going to be annoying for Ragnarok. He's got 3 more on the way. But, you know, losing 2 Overlords like that is always really annoying. This Stalker might go down, though. Man, Stalkers die so quickly to Lings. All 3 Oracles are still alive. They've all gotten a few kills. Okay, I lied. This one hasn't gotten any kills. This one's still a Disciple. This one's a Mentor. Wow, 2 of these guys have 0 kills. This Mentor, last hitting. And Trap's taking a weird 3rd base here. This is a very weird 3rd base. I don't like it. Oracle's coming in. Oh, 5 kills so far. Looks like this Adept and maybe a partner that it had 8 kills on drones right now. Looks like one of the Oracles might actually go down. No? Damn. Damn. Alright, let's see. Back at home for Trap. He's got an Immortal coming out. He's got a Forge on the way. Bunch more Gateways coming up. Ragnarok, though, he's walking Queens across the map. This is scouted by Trap, but what can Trap really do? He's got 4 Gateways on the way, but they're not going to be done just yet. Stasis Trap's going down. A nice Bile kills one of those very quickly. Those were not the ideal force fields. These ones were a bit better. Stasis Trap on only 1 Ling. The Queens are going to make these Oracles basically useless. They're out of energy. They're useless anyways. Immortals are great versus Roaches. Not so great versus Lings and Ravagers. Nice pickups here from Trap. Ooh, saving those Immortals just barely. It looks like this 3rd base is completely dead, but if Trap can hold here, he might be able to be in a good spot. Ragnarok doesn't have a ton of workers behind this. Oh, but these Biles keep getting hits. One of the Immortals has gone down. One of the Oracles has gone down. Is it going to be enough here for Trap to stop this, or is Ragnarok going to be able to swarm through once again? There's more Lings on the way. Probe's starting to fall. Gateway's starting to fall at the front of the base here. There's still 3 Immortals alive. The Warp Prism is still alive for juggling. Ah, but look at this Ling Flood. Trap needs a lot more to survive here. He does have a bunch of Gateways that finished up top. He's going to lose his 3rd base, but at least the Oracles are getting some kills in the meantime. Getting some kills on those Lings, actually killing a lot of Lings. So far the trades now in Ragnarok's favor, although only slightly, but still considering the income has been pretty, actually pretty Trap favored. Ends up being pretty even, all things considered. I think the big thing here is that Trap lost his 3rd base, and Not something we see all that often. The queens that walked across the map are walking home. Kill a second oracle. And this third oracle is on 4 hit points. It's not going to be able to do too much more this game, I think. Maybe get some tags off. +1 now on the way for Trap. He's got Archons coming up. He can finally spend his gas. It's always a good feeling when your Templar Archives finishes and you have like 600 gas. And you're just like, haha, I have something to do with this now. Trap taking the more conventional third base. He knows that Ragnarok is droning up back at home, but the worker count is still actually quite similar. And if Trap can keep Ragnarok at home with these Archons for as long as possible, maybe get a few worker kills, he grabs one, and then he'll just head on out of there. He can buy some time. He still has 4 Immortals alive. And his army back at home's looking a little bit beefier, especially as +1 comes up. +1 melee on the way for Ragnarok. I don't know how I feel about that. +1 melee is kind of an interesting one. If we see Banelings, which I imagine we will based on the fact that he's getting Baneling speed, it's going to be quite good. Banelings are, they're pretty good here. Banelings are pretty good units, if I do say so. But we have a lot of Archons and a lot of Immortals. Baneling's not particularly good against those. +2 now starting up for Trap immediately. Sticking on those attack upgrades. Queen's pushing away the Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism sees that Ragnarok wants to attack. It's positioning for the attack. Might try to drop this these Archons back out once more. Observer goes down, but he does still have that Oracle alive for a tag. Trap's got a much better defensive position this game than we saw in the last game. So it's going to be a lot harder for Ragnarok to break this. Banelings are going to be key. It feels a little reminiscent of our first game of the day, which was sort of as the Zerg. Basically the same composition, busting through a Protoss. But this time the Protoss is Trap, and Ragnarok's got his work cut out for him. Alright, Stasis Ward doesn't really do much, but the force fields are nice on the top side. There's a couple of Archons not with this. Trap not really splitting all that much, but he is picking up, and you know, it's not going to be enough. I was trying. I thought maybe it was going to be okay. It was not okay. The Banelings are all gone, so the Warp and the Zealots is going to be slightly better, but there's so many roaches left over. Trap just didn't quite have enough for the defense, and he's going to have to tap out. Ragnarok is going to go up 2-1 in this series. GG. PhDs in the chat. Who is ahead after this? Well, Ragnarok was definitely ahead. I agree. Killing that third base was pretty brutal. If Trap had taken the other third base and not lost the third, I think he would have been ahead. Or at least even. Gemini has a sword in chat now, so I think that's about as close to a PhD as you can get in Twitch chat. I'm not sure. This is a best of 5, so we have at least one more game to go before it's done. You're surprised he didn't try to Solar the natural down? Ragnarok is actually, I think that's what makes him really strong, is he's got good like patience. I really feel like what separates some of the greatest players from just a good player is knowing not only when to attack, but when to retreat. You know, he did enough damage and he said, okay, I can't break this, but I killed the third, let's go home. The fact that he was able to walk home with his queens, that to me tells me more than anything that Ragnarok is ahead. Because if Trap is ahead, those queens don't go home. even if it's an even game, those queens usually don't get to go home from that position. So seeing those walk home means, generally speaking, that the Zerg did enough damage and is ahead. All right, score is all changed. I can't switch the players top and bottom because we are on Golden Wall, which is the first split left to right map that we've had in a while, it feels like. And spawning on the left side in the red for Jin Green Wings, it is Trap. And on match point on the right, in the blue, it is Chivo's Ragnarok. We saw Ragnarok do a very powerful build versus Zest on this map. Was Trap watching too? Because Trap is ready for that gold base to go down, and Ragnarok just takes the normal natural. All right, nice. First of all, I'd say if Trap was doing this because he was watching the last series versus Zest, nicely done, Trap, paying attention. But Ragnarok also changing up his builds, not just doing the same one that worked already. I think that's really, really smart. Yeah, so Ragnarok just doing a standard build here. It looks like Trap taking the standard expansion as well. We haven't really seen any like mining out of the backside to take a natural down here, but it looks like Ragnarok might want to take a third base down there. I'm really interested to see how this map develops with this backwards, this backside area. One thought I've seen around is that you could take this as a natural and then take the gold base as minerals only as a third, and then potentially even this as a fourth. Obviously, this is very close to your opponent, especially if they take this base. You guys are like one big zoom away from each other. But it's an interesting thought. And it looks like Ragnarok, yeah, he might want to take this as a third base here once he mines out these mineral patches. There's only 10 left of this one, but he's got to correct it to that. Link's chasing the probe away, Trap back at home, chronoing out of depths, getting that natural base up, dropping his Twilight Council. So maybe another Glaives attack here out of Trap. Oh, this Adept going up and around, finding a couple of Lings. That's really interesting. And Ragnarok, no third just yet. He hasn't mined this out. Why can't I click on this anymore? Is it because it's not in vision? That's weird. That's annoying. He's sending Lings across the map because he scouts with both Overlords that the wall isn't finished. But the Lings are going to want to go home because there's 2 Adepts coming out. I want to click on these minerals to see how many minerals are left. Why can't I do that? Gosh darn it. Alright, the Stalker is here. Now, Stalkers take a lot of damage versus Lings. So those Lings are actually going to be able to get in. They might even be able to get the kill on this Stalker. Oh, man, that's rough. That's not a good start for Trap. Oh, man. You know what I didn't have up this whole game, guys? I'm sorry. I was hiding it from you. The production tab, which tells us that there's nothing but units on the way. And Trap doesn't have a production tab, nor does he have a finished wall. This Adept is like, I got you guys, don't worry about it. But really, Ragnarok just straight up wins. And that's the GG. Well, I apologize for my terrible observing, especially since that was the final game, not of just the series, but of the bracket. And Ragnarok goes all in. He put all his money on the table, and he walked away with the trophy. Today, he takes all the money, he takes all the points. That's not true. There is a second place prize, I think, at least in points. I think first place gets all the money, though. There you go. Ragnarok takes it. The 3-1 over Trap in the finals.